Some Devils. J-dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. Carrying off on the goddamn printed questions. Next one in line that where we left off from yesterday is 8-bit of these fucking guys and their user IDs. What is it that you guys decide when you make the user ID? Like, in my opinion, if you're going to use a user ID, either A, you use your name, or B, come up with something clever and cool. Or if you're in a band, maybe your band name to advertise it. Like, what the fuck is this? 8-bit of K-Vids. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? I just don't get it. It blows my goddamn fucking mind. J-dawg, question mark. What could Metallica have done after AJFA? So I think that's a young buck fucking lingo. To remain true to their thrash metal roots? Question mark. And if they still made the Black album, where could they have gone next? You know, it's funny. The way you're kind of asking this, and I'm going to assume you know more underground shit or more extreme metal than Metallica because you're watching this goddamn channel. But the fucking thing is the way you're asking this question is like, what? They just set the boundaries so goddamn high. What could they have done? Just what could they have possibly done, dog? I mean, what the fuck could they have done? They could have done all they had to do. They didn't have to do anything. It's not like asking a question like that is like, what could the Tish have done to get any heavier? I don't fucking know. It's about as heavy as it gets, brah. Man, that's a what could they have done? What can Metallica do? Just keep playing thrash metal, but write good songs. It's all you ever have to do. There's plenty of fucking ripping ass, tear your fucking face off thrash albums that came out after AJFA. Plenty. Demolition Hammer, first two albums. Those are fucking 90s. Send Everything Home fucking by Metallica on a goddamn fucking stretcher. Toxic Holocaust. I think the Holocaust smokes fucking Metallica personally. Witch Trap. Victimizer. Tons of goddamn thrash bands that came out years later that are in the thrash metal genre that we come on. That's all they had to do. Stayed on like what even if they wanted to spice it up a bit. Go back to after AJFA, they get into the time machine. Go back to fucking a little bit more down and dirty, a little bit more speed metal oriented. Go back to Kill 'Em All, do another album like that, but just write killer, ripping, fucking memorable songs. You know, and that's what most bands of today that just don't get the goddamn fucking memo because everything's been done. You're not going to create anything new, but what you need to do is write good memory. If I was in a band, what I would be doing is the way I would write songs is 90% of them that are written should be thrown away. Why? You need to come up with each song needs to be like writing it for like somebody, like say you're trying to write it for basically somebody that doesn't listen to metal. What do you mean? Something that's going to catch their ear and like, oh wow, that's interesting. Because otherwise, it's just monotonous fucking bullshit. If it's just the standard, like just gotta, it's got a fucking cool sounding guitar in the background, okay, but it's got no fucking catchy hooks. It's not fucking memorable on the first listen. And it could be done, like I'm saying, like the last, I think it's the last one that caught me, and it was nothing new. It was just Swedish sounding death metal. Flesh Crawl was it Into the Catacombs of Flesh? I think that's the last record they did. That's the latest one I heard. First listen, grab me by. Oh wow, this is memorable. Sing alongish. This is fucking good. Demonical's hit or miss. They have some songs that are kind of filler. But they had songs, like I said, on Chaos Manifesto, Towards Greater Gods, that really stood out. Their last two albums, they'd have a song here and there, too. Again, first listen, capturing it. Very first listen. That's the goal. So you're not going to do that in everything you write, meaning 80 to fucking 90% of the songs you write, you should just scrap them. Don't even use them. It's just background bullshit that's been done a million fucking times. So, Metallica, they got all the goddamn time in the world because they ain't got fucking no jobs or anything. Even at that time, they didn't. They were already millionaires like AJFA, and if they weren't millionaires and they're idiots with their fucking money, or idiots with fucking their contract signings, there's no fucking way they could have been millionaires by then. Again, well, no, they weren't, J-dawg, whether they're a bunch of fucktards. That's on you, dude. So from there, all the time in the world, just writes good, extremely memorable songs. As a matter of fact, outside the band, I would play it for people that you know are going to give you an unbiased opinion. Give them a bunch of songs. What are the standout ones? Give it to them like maybe 20 different people. The favorites that are picked, save those, use those. That's what I would do. Although that's why I wish most, because if you did that for most bands, number one, it'd get rid of half the shit that's coming out today, and it's not because of the today thing. It's always been. It's just as the years go by, between the back catalog of all bands and today's, it's just overwhelming. It's just too much to get. So like, what do you need a bunch of fucking mediocre shit for? You don't. And unfortunately, to find the gems, you got to shift through the bullshit. So if things were done kind of the way I said, it would eliminate more bullshit coming out. It'd be much more limited, and way less just because again, most extreme metal music comes out. There's very few things that I shut off, like if I put on the shop. You guys and people send me CDs and shit all the time. All right, I'll put it on. I was like, I'm not expecting to be excited, to put it that way. And I put it on. It's fine. It's fine. It's background. And I'll toss it. And so if there's a big boy order, that's why I toss it. Generally speaking, when I get a free CD, I listen to it. Unless my socks are blowing off, I was like, I don't need to own it. I toss it in a big boy order. So maybe this guy will like it. That's how I. I'm being completely honest. That's how I do it. But yeah, most of it doesn't suck. Like, shut this off. It's just, yeah, it's in the background. It's cool. Gotta grab me, brah. Gotta grab me. And again, if you're playing it for a 19-year-old that's only been listening to this shit for 3 years, he's gonna be easier to grab because it's still new. And don't get me wrong, I was easy to grab too when I was young because everything was fresh and new. But once you've heard extreme music for over 20 years straight, and that's what you're actually listening to. You're not listening to dumb shit in the car and stuff. You're actually listening to extreme music. You listen to what you say you do with support. People are not around your buds just to look cool. That's what most people want. Not even gonna get into that. I've already been in that. Goddamn it. It's not, so with that being said, it's not that I'm burnt out. It's just heard it. I mean, there's nothing there. It'd be the same way if I was just a classic rock guy. And the thing is, it's funny is if you actually do the math. Because as you guys know, I'm not a big classic rock guy. I mean, I like a song here and there, but by no means is that my forte or what I collect by any fucking stretch of the definition. But if you listen to even the classics, hence the word classic rock, most of that shit was all filler too. Why do you think that majority of the songs, if you go by any of the fucking bands, Zeppelin, Halen, Kiss, Rush, fucking Scorpions, fucking Nazareth, whatever. Go buy like 3 or 4 of their albums, and let's just say you knew what you heard on the radio. I guarantee fucking to you, 60% of the songs that you now have the whole albums, never heard these songs, never heard them, and I know because that's actually the way it was for Black Sabbath. When I started buying Black Sabbath, I went back to the oldies. Black Sabbath, I went back to it. I started buying Ozzy and Sabbath. I was 19 years old. That's when I was like, you know what? Got plenty of death metal, black metal. Let's go back to the fucking classics. Getting a bit ear fatigued and just listening to only that, right? And I remember the same for Ozzy too. A lot of songs I was like, never heard this before. Like for example, Blizzard of Oz. Not Blizzard of Oz. There's other songs on there too. Bark at the Moon. I remember specifically because it's a song that I really like a lot. Rock and Roll the Rebel. I never heard that prior. They don't play it on the radio. They play it on the radio, J-dawg. Maybe they do in this fucking stupid ass year 2023, but they did it in the fucking 90s when I was growing up as a kid. So I never heard my dad playing that song. The songs I heard by Ozzy, the radio was Crazy Train. I'm pretty sure Believer. Shot in the Dark. No More Tears. Honestly, I don't even think I know I heard it because I think I heard cover songs. They do play on the radio now, because I hear it every now and again in my gym. Bark at the Moon. I don't think as a kid I ever heard Bark at the Moon on the radio. Again, I'm just going by my dad putting the radio on and shit. Plenty of songs by Sabbath, Iron Man, War Pigs. Plenty of Sabbath songs, but again, a lot of those never did I fucking hear until I bought the fucking actual records. Like Hole in the Sky. None of those fucking canoes that don't collect records is, I like Black Sabbath. I just listen to the fucking radio. They don't know Hole in the Sky. Guarantee they don't. Never even heard it. So what I'm getting at is a lot of these bands, by their own standard, they consider most of their songs goddamn fillers. The class is not just a death metal thing, just to clarify that. So, Yeah, what's Metallica done? Like they did it all. Like they just set the bar so fucking high. Like fuck, they did, man. Robert G. Carnage Dark Recollections equals one of the best albums ever. One of the best death metal albums ever for sure, no doubt about it. I mean, easily in the top five, fucking as far as sweetest death metal albums, no doubt, top five of all time. Um, if you consider yourself a death metal fanatic, again, only exceptions. Those 80 guys where they're like, I liked fucking last death metal thing I liked was goddamn Altars of Madness, 89 down, brah brah. Um, if you're one of those guys, then may they get a pass. But again, you better be fucking 55 or older, and you've been listening to this shit since you're like 12. I picked up Welcome to Hell when it came out, bro. Okay, then those guys, I get it. Because the way I look at it, the reason I'm only kind of giving a pass is because the 90s up, it's like call it like it is, not to be disrespectful. It was just too extreme and intense for their fucking pussy. Realistically, that's what it was. I mean, because the reason you don't like it is because it was more extreme. You're not really into extreme music. You're kind of like more like classic metal. You're into metal and you're a true metal head. But when it comes to extreme shit, the tough shit, the real manly stuff, your vag just can't handle it, brah brah. This is what it is. So anywho, yeah, outside that, when I look at a fucking collection, you say you're into death metal, then there ain't dark recollections in it. God damn. You better have a good goddamn reason. Homeboy across the street just stole it last night, brah brah, and I didn't get a chance to fucking rebuy it before the dog came over. That's about the only goddamn good excuse I can think of. We better be new as fuck, because holy fuck, that's an incomplete collection. It's equivalent to saying I like goddamn heavy metal and you don't know Master Reality. That's kind of how I look at it. I mean, for shit like that, there's just certain things that just staples. Like if you claim to be into death metal, Like an Ever Flowing Stream, that's just in there. Dark Recollections in there. You know what I mean? Left Hand Path, that's in there. There's just certain shit. Imperial Doom, that's in there. Ten Commandments, that's in there. It's just certain shit. I mean, to me, it's just given. That's how I always looked at it. I just thought it was common goddamn sense. Harry Quinn. Oh, this was an emailed question. He emailed this question. Question. This is a goddamn Jim question. Try to make it quick. I know how some of you fucking devils hate those questions. Don't know why though. Just want to hear about how great Carnage is for the 100th time, I guess. Have you ever ran a program which alternates weekly between lower reps, heavier weight with higher reps, lower weight question mark? Not really. Might say it's pretty consistent, but I have in the past. But at the moment, not so much. Alternating between more strength style training with more hypertrophic training, but doing the same lifts, but just alternating the weight and rep range weekly. Any opinions on this kind of program? So basically, what he's saying is like, for example, if you're training chest, if you're doing an incline barbell, he's saying 1 week you do like a 10 to 12 rep range, which is more for like hypertrophy, aka building muscle, and then the next week you'll go down to like more of a strength phase, which is maybe like 2 to 5 reps. I never do the 2 to 5 reps. The lowest by default I ever do is like 6 reps on something, and chances are I'm shooting for 8 to 10. It's just I so happen to fail at 6. Because honestly, unless you're training for strength sports or trying to be a powerlifter, I don't see any advantage of just low reps. I just don't. Now, granted, the science says, for example, as long as you're taking a failure, a 5 rep set to failure is pretty much the equivalent to a fucking 10 to 12 set rep to failure on paper for hypertrophy. So they're kind of equivalent as far as hypertrophy on paper. However, the downfall is since you're using a 5 rep set, meaning you're using a much heavier weights, you're just putting more stress on your goddamn joints and connective tissue. If you can get the job done with a little bit less load, then just do that. And not to mention, you're just going to get a better. I feel like the 10 to 12, even though on paper, 5 reps, it should produce the same amount of hypertrophy. I feel it doesn't. And the reason I feel that too is number one, anecdotal evidence just for my personal self, because I have tried it. You just don't get the same pumps and everything. But anecdotally, looking at just across the board over years and years and years, look at the top power lifters and look at top bodybuilders. The top power lifters have significantly less muscle mass. Now, before anybody freaks out, what are you talking about? Some of those guys are bigger. Not if you diet them down. A lot of those guys have a lot of goddamn body fat on them. So if you strip off that 60 pounds of body fat, they're way, way less than the goddamn bodybuilder. Take their legs, for example. way smaller than a bodybuilder, but they're way stronger than a bodybuilder. And primarily, what is the powerlifter training in? On the off season, he's training the 5 rep range. Competition time, obviously, he's hitting 1 rep maxes, practicing it for however many weeks out from a competition. Well, he's significantly stronger than the bodybuilder, but yet muscle mass wise, he's way smaller. So that doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure, there's something there. So, and I'm not training for strength purposes ever. Like, to me, honestly, again, unless you're competing in something, unless you're like trying to you get stronger for playing like football, American football, helmet shit, not soccer, or just sports or combat sports, MMA, you're trying to increase your strength, things like that, or you're specifically powerlifting, you're competing to move numbers. What is the point of being stronger? When you really think about it, the risk versus reward, all you're doing is feeding your ego. Because here's the thing, the average gym goer, which is some of you watching this, I just want to get stronger. I want to get stronger. For what? Because you think if you beat people up, it doesn't translate to that anyways. You get the 160-pound jiu-jitsu guy who knows how to fight, but you can bench 100 pounds more than him, and you don't know how to fight, I guarantee you he's whooping your ass. So it doesn't translate to that. So the only reason you're doing it is to feed your ego. You're that insecure? People say, oh, you're only feeding your ego with bodybuilding, how you look. You could say that, but at least everybody, I don't give a shit what you say. Everybody wants to look good. Most people just don't do it and don't because they don't want to do the work that's involved. Even a person who's morbidly obese, he doesn't want to be morbidly obese. He doesn't just want to he's just addicted to food for one, doesn't know how to eat, and just refuses to make the lifestyle changes necessary. That's fine. I don't judge. It's your life. Do what the fuck you want. It doesn't affect me, so I don't give a fuck. But that's the reason. But deep down, if you're like, I can snap my fingers, Harry Potter, magic wand, and you could be shredded with abs. You don't have to do anything. You think that fat fuck's like, I don't want that. I want these tits hanging off my chest. I want this big fucking gut. I want to be pre-diabetic. I want that. No, fuck no, he doesn't want to be that. So it's not by choice. So you can make the argument, like I said, all right, that's just for ego too. Don't have to look at it. Whatever you want to say, but at least that suits a purpose. When you look in the mirror, it brings satisfaction to you. And again, I don't care who you are, male or female, it does. You want to look a certain goddamn way. Training, if you could fucking bench 400 pounds, but you look like shit, but you're like, I'm strong as fuck, nobody cares that you can bench 400 pounds. Nobody knows you bench 400 pounds except the fuckers that see you in the gym. And even they don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck? So why are you giving a fuck? The only reason you give a fuck is because you're doing it as a sport, as a profession. Okay, that makes sense. Because again, outside the give a fuck, where I go to the bar and I can beat everybody up. Well, what do you say? So, number one, you might not be able to if you get a guy that can fight. And number two, so what, you're just some fucking tough guy, monkey see, monkey do, ooga, ooga. I want to move fucking weight. This is dumb, dude. And that's what gives a reputation of people going to the gym being fucking stupid, is that stupid ass fucking mentality. So, as a matter of fact, dude, over the last year or two, I've lightened my weights considerably, and I've stricken my form. My form was never sloppy. My form was always good, but purposely making the movements harder. And it's working out really fucking well, actually. The muscle's definitely taking on a different look. Pumps are fucking insane. For example, like say I'm on any type of incline press, a dead fucking 2-second count pause in the full stretched position, then squeeze out. And not just press it off, squeezing the muscle out. And it's a million times harder. You're not going to move as much weight. And like I said, it's putting less strain on connective tissue. So, well, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I have tried the back and forth. But as far as just moving max loads, I haven't done that in fucking years. And I have zero intention on ever doing it, especially as I'm getting goddamn older. Devil's Cheeseburger. J-dawg, hello. What are the key elements of Twinkcore? Like, what makes it up? From what I've heard, mostly the thing is, before my experience of 1 hour of absolutely tied down, unsufferable Twinkcore listens that J-dawg had to listen to, I never kind of officially heard it. I guess I kind of have every now and again when I walk in the gym, because they do play it. I heard it and I just assumed that's what it was. But outside that, it was always just the image. The mile-long fucking names, I wrestled a bear, just dumb names. You see the people that get those big-ass fucking ear gauges, usually tattoos all over them, but they're stupid fucking tattoos of fairies and fucking just dumb shit, but they're supposed to be a goddamn tough guy. Got a couple of those in the gym. We got this one dude. He's tattoos all over his neck and face and shit, but it's just like dumb shit of like the fucking Smurfs and crap. I mean, it's not the actual Smurfs, but that's what it looks like. It's just dumb pussy shit. You know what I mean? It damn sure ain't goddamn the fucking house by the cemetery fucking skull. Goddamn, that's cool shit. Like that's man shit, brah. You know, Infest Dead. Look at that badass logo. That's metal, brah. That screams down with the devil. That's badass shit. That's man shit there, brah. So just their goddamn image. Um, you know what they look like, and it's always the guy that can come up to you, listen to metal, bro, and you're looking a mile away like this. I already know where this is going. No fucking way do you don't own Carnage Dark Recollections, brah. When you see that shit, a Twinkcore listener, it's guaranteed at this fucking point. 25 years ago, you could have made like maybe he listens to fucking 80s shit, maybe Maiden. Very good chance it's more so the 90s garbage though, the Cold Chambers, the Panteras, etc. There's more than likely that, but every now and again you get lucky, like maybe he's talking about Metallica, Maiden, Priest, like respectable shit. But now it's 99 times out of 100, it's Twinkcore when you see that person, and musically, it's that yellow shit, and then it just goes in that pussy fucking voice. You know, we listen to core, the gayest band on earth, followed by the night, and those chugga fucking choo choo chain fucking riffs where there's no face ripping solos. The drums always sound like dog shit. At least what I've had to fucking suffer through. And again, what I walk and stumble on in my fucking gym before I get the goddamn headphones on. That's the Twinkcore formula. And and again, I've yet to hear anything where I'm like, this is at least decent. Because again, for the 10 millionth fucking time, like putting on the Panteras and shit like that, yeah, it's not my thing and I bust their balls. But at least I was like, I could see why people would like this shit. Even the insufferable fucking song "Walk," which is it's just annoying because it's that tough guy shit. It's that tough guy wannabe fucking crap. This with the fucking boxers hanging out crap being sung by a goddamn fucking 130-pound goddamn heroin addict. It's like, how is this tough at all? And it's way over fucking played, and people think that's the hard shit. So it's just a very annoying, trendy song. But I could see why someone would like that. You know, like it's a kind of a sing along. It makes them feel tough, even though they're not. I can understand it, at least. The Twinkcore shit, I haven't heard anything where I'm like, I'm literally sitting there, I was like, I don't understand how anyone could like this. I honestly do not understand how anyone could like this. You know what I mean? Just because I don't like something, that doesn't mean I can't understand always that someone doesn't, you know, I could see for some of it. I'm like, yeah, it's not for me, but I could see why someone would. That shit, again, maybe there's somebody out there I haven't heard, which 99% of it I haven't heard. I've only had to sit through the 1 hour mandatory and then the walking in the gym. But the thing is, before I even officially heard it, I already knew that's what it was. I automatically knew in my head what that garbage fucking was. And sure enough, when I officially hear it, sit down and have to listen to it because I was in a place where I couldn't fucking leave and I wasn't in my own goddamn environment. I couldn't tell them, hey, shut this off. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected it to be. I was like, and it's literally worse than the fucking goddamn Cold Chambers, Marilyn Manson's, Pantera's, fucking Cold, all that shit. This is what's the Static X's. It's worse than that. And I didn't think that was even fucking possible. It was. So, as usual, when it comes to this crap, the poser fucking radar goes off and it's right 98 to 99 times out of 100. Just is. Comes push the church and nothing to do. But the God's about to get in the morning later, goddamn it.